You ever hear of a place that feels like it's hiding in plain sight? That's Lapeer, Michigan. Ask somebody in Metro Detroit about it, and you'll probably get something like, oh yeah, I think I drove through there once, and that's exactly the point. Lapeer isn't the loudest town on the block, but it's been quietly doing its thing for nearly 2 centuries. From a historic courthouse that predates the Civil War to backyard space you'd never ever get in Oakland County to festivals that turn downtown into a carnival, Lapeer has this small town Michigan energy that people overlook until they actually come to visit. So let's dive in. What makes Lapeer tick, what life here really looks like, and whether this under the radar city could be the place you call home. Lapeer sits in Lapeer County, about 20 minutes east of Flint, 40 to 45 minutes north of Auburn Hills, and just over an hour to Detroit, depending on your lead foot on I-69. It's about 7 square miles in size, tucked along the Flint River, with a population of just over 8,200 people in the city itself. Step outside into Lapeer Township, and it's 32.3 square miles in size, with a population of around 5,000 people. So to say it's rural, private, and secluded is an understatement. The history goes deeper than most people realize here. Settlers were here by the 1830s, and by 1869, Lapeer officially became a city. Its name, some say it's from the French meaning the stone, thanks to the rocky riverbeds nearby. Others call that a small town myth, but either way, Lapeer wears its history proudly. The Lapeer County Courthouse, built in 1846, is still in use today and holds the title of Michigan's oldest continuously used courthouse. That means court records have been stacking up there since before the Civil War, but I actually don't know if they have all that or not. You'll also find ties to Michigan's industrial past, with the region once serving as a feeder to Flint's booming GM factories. But let's talk about today. What's there actually to do in Lapeer? If you're expecting nightclub districts or rooftop cocktail bars, you're going to be a little disappointed. What you will find is a surprisingly charming downtown lined with historic red brick storefronts, small shops, and local dining. Anchoring it all is the Pix Theater, which was built as a small theater in 1914 by a man named George Smith and has been a community hub since 1941 that still runs movies, live shows, and events today. You also can't miss Lapeer Days, the annual summer festival that takes over downtown every single August. A tradition that's been going on for 122 plus years and is considered Michigan's largest free festival. Thousands of people show up for concerts, parades, fried food, and rides. It's one of those events where you bump into everyone you know. If you want a sample of Lapeer's culture, jump into Lapeer Days head first and you'll get exactly that. For day-to-day life, downtown has coffee shops, antique stores, boutiques, and cozy restaurants, while M24 provides the big box conveniences of Meijer, Walmart, Home Depot, and all the chain dining you'd really expect on a big corridor like that. The balance, it works. You're not driving 30 minutes to buy toilet paper, but you still get the small town feel. And if you're into the outdoors, Roden Park and Crampton Park give you trails, sledding hills, and disc golf. Then you have the lake that's just outside town for boating and fishing, and then you have Metamora Hadley Recreation Area that has camping, hiking, and kayaking. And like any good Michigan town, there's always a lake nearby. With 13 well-maintained city parks throughout the city, you're bound to scratch the outdoorsy itch for sure. So, what does life there look like? Think relaxed, accessible, and spacious at the same time. Most homes have decent yards, garages, and easy driveways. It's not as cookie cutter as newer Oakland County subdivisions are, and you'll see everything from historic homes near downtown to ranches on acreage outside city limits. Residents describe it as peaceful, with one reviewer on Niche saying, Lapeer is a quiet town with good schools and plenty of land if you want space. It's not fancy, but it's affordable and family friendly. Another noted, it has that small town community vibe, but you can still get to bigger cities without a huge commute. And these residential reviews transition great into the nitty gritty numbers of living in Lapeer, Michigan. Now, the numbers, because that's what people moving here really want to know. And as of recording this, there's 73 or so homes and condos for sale in the city of Lapeer and the township of Lapeer, ranging from $69,900, which is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom with 1,082 square feet that was built in 1950 with a one-car garage and is situated on over about a half acre up to this $870,000 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom contemporary home that has over 40,620 square feet, a 2-car garage, built in 1988 and situated on over 15 acres with a private pond. This home is very much move-in ready, and I can't help but compare this to a place like Birmingham, for example, where you'd still be shoulder to shoulder with your neighbors. This is a good example of being able to stretch your dollar a little bit further. Lapeer also has a Pine Lakes community, which is a manufactured home park where you can get a new manufactured home for under $200,000. And the park's amenities include basketball court, playscape, outdoor swimming pool, and 2 lakes with catch and release fishing, a gym, a game room, a reading room, and I know everyone's opinion is different on the reputation of manufactured home communities, but in a world where affordability is falling drastically, it's nice to have options like this. I also wanted to create some more perspective around the price tag of living in Lapeer, Michigan. So this graph shows the median sale price in the whole MLS, which is in blue, the city of Lapeer, which is in green, Lapeer Township, which is in yellow, and just for giggles, all of Lapeer County in red to show how it compares to all the communities within the county. Lapeer's median sale price is right around $209K, the township $237K, and the county $285K. So by the median sale price as a whole in blue, areas around Lapeer are cheaper to say the least. But something to come with the cost of living in Lapeer are the property taxes, and that's where this affordability can truly be a double-edged sword. But if Lapeer community schools are a priority for you, stick around because I'll talk about how you can save a ton of money. In the description, I'll also throw a PDF for the Michigan millage rates, which are the rates used to calculate property taxes, and then you can control find on your keyboard and type in Lapeer just to compare the different rates. There are a ton of areas that are within the school district of Lapeer Community Schools, and I'm going to rattle them off real quick along with their millage rates, then after do a quick calculation for you based on the cheapest rate and the most expensive. You ready? We have Arcadia Township, which is at 20.3894 mils. We have Attica Township, which is 23.5502 mils. We have Deerfield Township, which is 20.5174 mils. Dryden Township, which is 23.7264 mils. We have Elba Township, 22.0384 mils. Hadley Township, 21.3471 mils. Lapeer Township, 20.7974 mils. Mayfield Township, 20.8017 mils. Metamora Township, 23.3837 mils. The Village of Metamora, which is 33.1239 mils. North Branch Township, 20.5785 mils. Oregon Township, which is 20.7043 mils. And the City of Lapeer, 29.1273 mils. And to answer your question, yes, Lapeer is in a spot that has a lot of townships intersecting each other and whatnot. But at the same time, the Lapeer Community School District covers 225 square miles and enrolls roughly 4,400 students. Remember, it's rural out there. The lowest millage rate out of this list is Arcadia Township at 20.3894, and the highest is the Village of Metamora at 33.1239, which doesn't surprise about the Village because villages often have higher millage rates. If we take a home at $250,000, let's just say, take 50% of that, which is $125,000, and multiply it by Arcadia's millage rate of 20.3894 and divide it by 1,000, we have an annual tax estimate of $2,548 and some change. While we do that same calculation with 33.1239 mils and get $4,140 and some change. So roughly $1,600 more dollars to live in the Village of Metamora to go to the same schools as you would living in Arcadia Township. It may not be a deal breaker to your budget, but in a world that is ungodly expensive, every little bit helps, to say the least. Commuting is straightforward for once. If you're working in Flint or Oakland County, I-69 connects you west toward Flint and east toward Port Huron, while M24 heads south towards Oxford, Lake Orion, and Auburn Hills. Downtown Detroit is about an hour, depending on traffic, but here's something unique about here. Out of all the other areas that I've talked about, Lapeer has an Amtrak station with service on the Blue Water Line. That means you can hop on a train to East Lansing, Chicago, etc., and it's rare for a city this size, and it's oftentimes a huge complaint that I get about living in Michigan is public transit and the lack thereof. And this is one of the areas where you have some destinations the Amtrak will take you. Healthcare access is another plus. McLaren-Lapeer region is the main hospital in town with a full range of services. You got the urgent care centers and the primary providers throughout the city, and if you need specialized care, you got Flint's larger hospital systems are a 20-minute drive away. Future growth in Lapeer is modest, but it's steady. The city has been working on downtown streetscape improvements like I talked about. You got the infrastructure upgrades, attracting new small businesses. There's been talk of housing developments on the edges of the city to meet some demand, and you'll see more building permits trickling in compared to 5 years ago. Lapeer isn't exploding like Novi or Brighton, but it's quietly trending upward, especially as buyers look for more affordable options outside of Oakland and Livingston counties. So what are the real pros and cons of living in Lapeer, Michigan? On the pro side, affordability stands out. You can actually buy a house here without selling a kidney. Space is another plus. You got the bigger lots, you got the fewer traffic jams and less hustle and bustle. Outdoor recreation is everywhere, from local parks to nearby lakes, and for people who like the, let's just say, small town traditions, you got the festivals, the parades, the car shows, Lapeer checks that box. The cons, on the other hand, nightlife is limited. If you need trendy cocktail bars or live music every weekend, you'll be driving more so out of town. I mean, if you want more of that nightlife scene. Infrastructure like roads sometimes need attention, and some schools or public facilities could use some more investment. One resident review kind of summed it up as, it's peaceful but not much to do unless you make your own fun. Another one said, I love the space and affordability, but I do wish there was more job opportunities directly in town. But honestly, that's kind of the story of Lapeer. It's not pretending to be something it's not. It's not Royal Oak with breweries on every corner. It's not Novi with massive shopping plazas. It's a place where you can buy a home with a yard, be 10 minutes from Meyer, 20 minutes from Flint, and still feel like you've got breathing room. But one of the bigger cons, I would say, is the fact that its location is out there. Not necessarily a part of Metro Detroit, and getting to all these different areas that within Metro Detroit that I talk about video after video. It's going to be quite a commute to get to all those places, to say the least. So would you trade big city convenience for this way northern town with some more affordability? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious to hear what you think. And if you're thinking about making a move to Michigan in one day or a billion, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to be your go-to resource. I've also got a link in the description to the Living Michigan newsletter for all things Michigan. Thanks always for watching. Till next time.